Hey, what's up developers? In this video, we're taking a look at two junior web developers' portfolios. These are real portfolios. These are real junior developers who said, Candy, I'll step up. I'll put my work in front of the world as long as I can get a critique. I said, okay, please show these developers some love in the comments. This is a really bold step. It is intimidating. I mean, even as a YouTuber, sometimes it can be tough going on camera and putting yourself in front of the world. So please show these developers some love. It's getting very loud out here. Let's go in and review some portfolios.
I have no idea who RealToughCandy is. She hired me because she thought adding a British presenter would give her more street cred.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, welcome to the RTC War Room, aka the RTC Discord, where in the review my portfolio room, things have been popping off. Today we are reviewing Ogechi's portfolio, and then we are gonna take a look at Vincent's. Now, I've already taken a look at both of these portfolios, and I'm pretty sure the direction I want my constructive criticism to go, but you guys have never seen these before. So we're going to take a quick look at what we are working with. This is Ogechi's landing page. She has the About Me section here with the contact, and then she has an individual project page here with a few of her projects. Let's get back into it with this homepage. The first thing that popped out to me as a user was your slogan right here. Let's bring your ideas to life. This is big. This is bold. This is grabbing people. This is saying, let's do this. And it's an exciting slogan. And because it is so, I think it embodies a lot of what you're about. I mean, I don't know you personally, but going over the site, I think this really is a great slogan for you and what you do. I would even pump this up bigger. I would make it this big from here to here. Make it occupy a lot of space here. Show people how bold this idea is. Let's bring your ideas to life and really capture their attention that way. It's going to be the first thing they see. Right now, this is still the first thing I see, but I would like to see this even bigger and bolder. If you have a logo, you could even make a logo and put it right here, or make this into a logo somehow. But at the very minimum, I think this needs to be bigger and bolder right around here. In case I'm an electrician or a plumber and I have no idea what you're talking about, you describe this. I love designing and developing websites and web applications. Want to talk about your ideas? Give me a shout with your email address. This is great. And just adding like a breadcrumb maybe. I don't know what the word is, but I like that you explain this a little more. I would consider adding your personal URL, or not URL, domain name here. Instead of Gmail, I would say do your first name at ogechiik.com. It ups your trust factor and it just looks a little more professional. Or conversely, I cannot talk today. Alternatively, you could get rid of this or just this part and say, give me a shout, and then link to your contact page here. Going to the About Me, love that you put a photo here. It really adds to your trust factor as a developer. Now remember, people visiting your page, the majority of them are going to be strangers. They don't know anything about you. Why should I contact this chick? Why should I work with her? Well, for one thing, she's a real person. She's not a bot. She's not some scammer, unless maybe she ripped off this portfolio from someone else. Hopefully you didn't. I'm pretty sure you didn't. But the point being, this is getting already way into the weeds, way off topic. The point being, this photo really adds a lot to your trust factor. Great touch here. That it's rounded, just a nice little UI touch. And then you describe yourself here. I did notice a little teeny tiny, this is just a tiny grammatical thing. You said, I am someone who enjoys leveraging background in graphics and web design. I think it should be, I am someone who enjoys leveraging a background or my background in graphics and web design. But again, just a little grammatical thing. Then you go down here to describe or list your experience with your tech stack, ranging from Sketch to Redux to HTML5, a nice stack here, very, very diverse, modern stuff. I don't even know what I was going to say, but modern, I like it. I like that it's right here in the front. Going down, we have the contact page. I would take out these placeholders here It's redundant information because the viewer already, or the visitor already knows that they need to put their name here. And I think these placeholders, Selena, what is your problem? She's hiding in a corner looking at me. My face is about to be clawed off. I don't know what's going on. This is just redundant and it clutters up the UI. So I would take these out. Other than that, this looks good. You have the footer here. I'm a web developer who can solve your problem or help with an existing project. This is great too. I don't know if you want to move that up here as well. I really do already like this. I don't know. It's up to you. This is your call, but this is a good little, just a punch, a blurb. I am a web developer who can solve your problem or help with an existing project. It's plain English and people can read, oh, you can solve my problem? You can help me with my project? Cool. Down here, I think it's fine too. But feel free to experiment with this placement. So yeah, this looks good overall, just a few small tweaks. Let's go to the projects here. So this is not a code review or a project review. So I'm not going to be reviewing the actual projects themselves, just the way you present them. So Crown Clothing, Wanderlust, Check Yourself, and Movies Galore. We have 4 projects. Crown Clothing lets users simulate an e-commerce store. Users choose from an exciting selection of clothing and accessories, and then you have the tech here, and that's pretty much the same format for the rest of these. One thing I did notice, just for consistency, you have the tech stack here, actually spelled out, whereas right here it's not. So I would put that here. Also, it seems, this is just my impression, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you are reaching out to clients. In other words, you're presenting yourself as a freelancer and looking for clients, whether they're small business or, whoever, people who need websites, as opposed to creating this for a potential corporate 9-to-5 employer. So the issue with that is that while these stacks are really, really good to see, as a client who needs a website, I don't know what this stuff is. And that's a problem because this is where a lot of your money is coming from. You're using this tech stack to build these caliber projects. And if I don't know what this is, I don't know how these projects can relate to me. I don't know how any of these words can relate to me or my issue. So my suggestion would be to create a table or some sort of readable graphic or something, and just try and describe some of these technologies in human readable plain English. What is JavaScript? What is JavaScript and how is it helping this Wanderlust app come to life? What is React and Redux? And what role is it playing in the performance of this app? Is it increasing speed by 20%? And if you can have metrics, if you can actually measure some of this stuff, all the better. What are the benefits of Crown Clothing over a competing website? As a viewer, as a potential client, as someone who potentially needs a website, that's something I want to see because people are obsessed with themselves. And when I'm looking at this, I want to know how these projects can help me. So I don't think you need to describe in human readable terms what all the stuff does, in plain English what all the stuff does, but maybe just taking a handful and creating, like I said, a table or a graphic, an infographic of some sort, or maybe just like putting it down here or something in addition to this, just to show viewers or visitors what this stuff is and how it contributes to the success of these sites. And the PAR method is something I would recommend considering also. You don't have to use the PAR method, but it does really help organize your thoughts, and it sticks out to readers because it has measurable things they can read, metrics that potentially apply to their situation. All in all, I think this is a great portfolio. I think it's a very strong start. My 2 suggestions are to make, my 2 biggest ones anyway, is to make this even bigger because it is so powerful of a slogan. Make it pop, make it front and center. Let's bring your ideas to life. And then the other big suggestion is you taking these projects and then just bringing them a step further, describing what some of this stuff does, maybe describing your process a little more, maybe using the PAR method. I'd like to read about these projects as a potential client of yours and how they might relate to my own needs. All right, let's move on to the second project here. Vincent turn. I'm going to go through this portfolio for you guys to look at quick. I've already been through this one. About section, projects, blog, and contact. The very first thing that popped out to me, not only as a software developer, not only as a freelancer, not only as an employer of developers with my small business, but all of those things and more, was the speed of this site, which is no surprise because he's hosting it on Netlify and using Gatsby. Gatsby is a static site generator that uses React. Really hot right now, and for good reason. It is speedy delivery with all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was awash with emotion because I was envious. I was impressed. I said, how did he get it this fast? And then I looked up and I said, oh, Netlify. Okay, he's probably using a static site generator. And he is. It's Gatsby. Great, 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 because that shows your employer that you're hip to the modern tech, you care about speed and efficiency, and it's a good impression for anyone who visits. As a visitor, this is a small thing, but I think it's important. The first thing I saw was your name, which is great because you have a name and it's an important name. This separator and then hi, comma. Now I was expecting a sentence because I see these formats so often on websites and portfolios and blogs and stuff. I was expecting a full sentence like, hi, I'm Vincent, or hi, I'm Vinny, or however you're known. Maybe it's not a big deal, but for me, it was a hiccup, and it was one of my first impressions. I was like, oh, I'm expecting something to complete right here. I see what you're going for, and it works, but I was expecting something a little more right here. And as a first impression, I think that's so important, because if I'm noticing that, I'm not the only one noticing that. And you want the experience to be consistent with a lot of other sites that are formatted like this. Also here you have the contact, a little bit of a contact jam perhaps. So right here, a few things. I'm going to suggest that you have a contact form down here, an actual form. Hyperlink this or take it out altogether, and then use your custom domain name, just like I suggested with Ogechi here. Just making it look a little more professional and consistent. You have a LinkedIn here, which is good. So that tells me you're looking for a 9 to 5, or at least implies that you're looking for a 9 to 5. That said, going back to the homepage, I think your call to action needs to be a lot stronger here, because your call to action right now is hi, or need a developer or want to collaborate, contact me. I would make your call to action larger and be very explicit. Don't make people think. Tell them straight up, I'm a developer, I'm a React developer, or however you want to know yourself as, a front-end developer. Hi, I'm Vincent. I'm a front-end developer currently looking for a 9 to 5 position or a full-time position as a front-end developer. However you want to word it, it needs to be explicit. It needs to be succinct. It needs to grab people by the freaking throat, because when people land on this page, they need to know right away what you're trying to get them to do. Do you want them to call you for an interview? Do you want them to collaborate? And maybe this page is just for, putting it out there to the world. Hey, I'm out here. I want to collaborate. I think the call to action needs to be a lot stronger here. You're on to a great start. This is I like the color combination, very Art Deco-ish, kind of a classic color combo, nice and clean, nothing to distract. So this message is front and center, and just give it some protein, give it some muscle here. And I think you're really going to put yourself quite ahead of the pack with that. Let's go to the About section. Who am I? Short, sweet, and to the point. I'm Vincent from Sacramento. I'm currently self-teaching myself front-end web development. So good, fine. You don't have to go on and on about who you are. You have a link to your projects here along with a blog. I like that you have a blog. As you grow in your career, writing is going to be, blogging especially, it's going to be expected. And this right away, this is something I just hardly ever see with junior developers, and it is putting you in front of the pack. publishing this blog post, how DevTools guided me to finish my web applications. You're going to be writing a lot. You're going to be writing documentation. You're going to be writing God knows what as a mid-level and senior and maybe even junior. And now you're getting your feet wet with it. This is great. This is great. I see published just a few days ago. I can't lavish enough praise for this feature of this portfolio. Great job. Keep the blog posts coming. Shows your employer that you are writing, and writing skills are just so important in this field. People never talk about them. They're really freaking important. Let's go to the projects page. You have 3 of them: Note Beast, Nested To-Do List, and Food Recipe. Like I said earlier, this is not a portfolio or project review. However, this did just kind of grab me by the face immediately. This is a good start. I think it's great that you already have this portfolio up and running. The projects, as soon as you complete a more complicated project, put it here. These are good starts. Food Recipe, Nested To-Do List, Note Beast. Good, solid starts. The problem with these projects, however, is that 1 million people, literally 1 million people plus, have completed to-do lists and have solved that problem 1 million times over. So you're not showing your employer that you can solve unique problems by featuring this project. It's a good start. Like I said, they're good placeholders. But as soon as you level up and complete that next project, stick it in here, and then, push these to the bottom and change these out when you complete that project. Same with Note Beast. It's a CRUD app using React, and the Food Recipe with vanilla JavaScript. I like that you described your process here, but just like I mentioned in this other portfolio with Ogechi, consider using the PAR method. Even if it's a theoretical application, you can still extract a lot of info. Theoretical numbers. If you were to deploy a certain app, what is the potential? And just exhibiting your problem-solving process. So I think that is one of the biggest things, aside from your call to action here, from stepping outside the box and just grabbing people by the throat and saying, "Hello, I'm here." Show people that you're here. Show your visitors that you want a job, if that's what you want. See, I don't know for sure. So I want to know for sure what you want from people on this landing page. The second thing, I know it seems probably seems overwhelming right now. So don't let it creep you out or just put you in stress mode. We all start with these projects. We all start with them, and they're great for getting to that next level. They're great for showing off because they feel good. It's like, dude, I created this stuff. This is something I created, and it feels great. But once you get to that next level, I would say as soon as you do, put it in here, especially if you're sharing this portfolio with potential employers. Ask Aunt Lucinda if she needs a website. Trade her an iTunes card. Say, "Aunt Lucinda, for a $25 iTunes card, I will build you a personal website. Do we have a deal?" And then stick that portfolio project front and center right here, because you're solving a unique problem. And you can also describe your process where you had a problem. You can describe the tech you used, and you can describe a real world impact of that project. So all in all, I think you're off to a great start. I think the strongest point of this portfolio is the Netlify, the static site. Just wow, really just a great first impression with that. The other strong point you have, I think, is with the blog. Developer employers, just employers in general who are looking for developers, are looking for good writers. You don't have to be Shakespeare. They're looking for people who know how to form sentences. And this is something that is going to put you ahead of the pack, 90% of them, because most times, like I said, when I see these portfolios, I'm not seeing a blog. And in this game, all you have to do is be marginally better. I'm not saying gold, go for silver, go for bronze, go for copper, go for the freaking gold. But a lot of times you'll find it's just that one small thing that puts you marginally ahead that is going to give you that job, that is going to get you that client or whatever. It's going to get you that paycheck. You guys both have boldness. And you want to know something? That's the biggest thing that's going to get you ahead, not only in development, but in the game of life. You guys are bold to step up, to put your work in front of the world, in front of strangers, in front of YouTube. I mean, that takes a lot of courage. And that you're putting your neck out there, you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable position, both of you guys. I mean, that's a really strong quality, and I know you guys are going to be doing some great things. Just keep working at it. You guys are going to get hired. You guys are going to get clients. Whatever your goal is, you guys have already proven to me that you want it and that you're hungry. And people who aren't hungry, they're going to be second place. They're going to be third place, and they might not even finish because they're just so complacent. You guys aren't complacent. You want to be better. And it's inspiring. It's motivating. So thank you guys for stepping up, letting me be a part of your developer journey. I hope this feedback session was helpful. Thanks, guys, for watching. Show Vincent and Ogechi some love. Woo! I'm out of breath. I'm being a total monologuist right now, so I'm gonna log off. Guys, come on, subscribe to the channel, show some love. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.